her down. From rats on up to riches, 15 minutes you can fly. Pretty blue lights along the way, got you right on by. In the blue light shining with a heavenly grace, got you right on by. And there ain't no road just like it, anywhere I found. Running south on Lakeshore Drive, getting into town. And just slipping on my own LSD, riding that trouble bound. And it starts up north from Hollywood, water on the driving side. Concrete mountains rearing up, throwing shadows just about fine. Sometimes you can smell the green if your mind is feeling fine. There ain't no finer place to be than running Lakeshore Drive. And there's no peace of mind the place you see, riding on Lakeshore Drive. And there ain't no road just like it, anywhere I found. Running south on Lakeshore Drive, getting into town. Just slipping on my own LSD, riding that trouble bound. It's Friday night and you're the bounds. A 10-minute ride from the Gold Coast back makes you show your pleasure bound. And it's 4 o'clock in the morning and all the people have gone away. Just you and your mind at Lakeshore Drive, and tomorrow is another day. And the sun shines fine in the morning time, tomorrow is another day. And there ain't no road just like it, anywhere I found. Running south on Lakeshore Drive, getting into town. Just sneaking on my own LSD, finding that trouble bound. Lakeshore Drive, tomorrow is another day. And the sun shines fine in the morning time, tomorrow is another day. But it's okay. There ain't no road just like this, anywhere I found. Running south on Lakeshore Drive, heading into town. I'm slipping on by on LSD, skipping on by on LSD. I'm tripping on by on LSD, Friday night trouble bound. Trouble bound.
All right, welcome everybody. So I'm your host, Braden Kipp, registered physical therapist and ergonomic expert at East Hill Physiotherapy. Welcome to our second virtual workshop discussing the perils of working from home and how to avoid them. So again, welcome. Just a little housekeeping before we all get started. If you could just please turn off or mute your microphone. The button should be in a red color. And try not, if you can, to click on the Present Now button. And then when you want to send a chat, or message, click at the little chat box in the upper right-hand corner and type your message in the box in the lower right-hand corner. If you type in the chat during the presentation, I'll try to get to your guys' questions if you have them. If I don't get to them, we'll have time at the end to answer some questions as well, okay? So, and then all of the attendees will get their names put in a random draw for some free 𝗟𝗚𝗀 physio sessions and some 𝗟𝗚𝗀 swag bags. So who wants to win? Type win in the chat box if you guys want to win some of these amazing prizes. Type win. Joanne, awesome. Good to see you. Win. Debbie, win. Awesome. Selena, win. Me, please. Laurel, you betcha. Okay. Awesome. Everybody wants to win. We'll try to get you all some swag, okay? So type in the chat box. We had some more Guardians of the Galaxy mix. What song best describes how you're feeling today? Walking on Sunshine. Yeah, it was gorgeous outside today. We're getting some nice weather. Joanne nodding yes. Was it nice down at the coast too? Awesome. Working on in a coal mine. Lorna. It's a hard day. Anybody else? Okay. So, welcome again. So at home, you may not have access to ergonomic equipment that you can usually access in your workplace daily. So it's vital to consider your home workstation ergonomics to prevent injuries and make small changes to your workspace and habits that will overall reduce stress on your body and even improve your productivity. So if you're suffering, the good news is you don't have to anymore. Today, you're going to learn how you can work from home, pain-free. So we'll go over some of the most common injuries with people working at home. We're going to help you guys set up your best ergonomic workstation that we can. We're going to go over some postural awareness. Any injuries come from this. We'll do some movement exercises that you guys can add into your everyday routine. And then we'll go over some take-home points and some next steps that you can implement to improve your workstation. So is this you? Pandemic posture is what we've been calling it. Everybody's smiling at me. Yeah, this looks a lot like a lot of us. Yeah, Selena. So yeah, totally. Yeah, mine probably looks worse than this. I'm not gonna lie. So whether you're working from home full time, remotely, or you're even in isolation due to COVID, chances are you spend most of your time in front of a computer screen, a laptop, a tablet, or even your iPhone. So a workstation at home might consist of perching over your kitchen counter, sitting on the couch, or lying in bed with your laptop. So during COVID, I often found myself doing more work on my laptop, sitting on my couch at home. And like I said, this picture is probably better than how you might even see me at home. I'll be slumped up at home on the couch with my neck cranked to one side, trying to type on my laptop. So I was getting tons of knots in my upper back and then pain and discomfort in my neck. So while working at home may sound comfortable, it can lead to increased risk for developing pain, discomfort, or injury. Okay, so the most common work from home injuries, what we've seen is repetitive strain injuries, postural dysfunction, so sore back or neck, fatigue, headaches, carpal tunnel from typing, and tendinitis, elbow tendinitis and shoulder tendinitis are very common. So let's do a little poll, okay? Are you experiencing any unusual pains? So we'll do a little poll. So you can click on the triangular symbol in the upper right-hand corner and you guys can see the poll, okay? So the first one says, are you experiencing any unusual pains? Elbow pain, wrist pain, neck pain, back pain? Go ahead and vote. Yeah, neck pain, elbow pain, some back pain. Everybody's typing well, no wrist pain, that's good. Neck pain. Yeah, okay. So yeah, most of you guys here tonight are having some neck and elbow stuff, and then one person's having some back pain. So hopefully we'll be able to help you guys out with some of the pains you experience or discomfort. So why not sit at your desk if you can right now and follow along with us? You can make changes as we go. That way you'll have your perfect setup at the end of the workshop. So I'm going to get Judy to come and be our lovely model. She's been voluntold, so she's going to come help us out. Should have had an option for all the above, Dina. Yes, I'm sure. Yeah. Yes, all of the above. I'm sure that's like most of us, to be honest. Okay. So long periods sitting with your knees and hips into flexion can make the muscles in the front of the thighs, the quads, and hip flexors tighten and cause hamstrings to shorten. And over time, this can leave you at a greater risk of injury and to your knees and lower back. So tip number 1, adjust your chair height. So if you guys are following along with us, you can see Judy here adjusting her chair height. So slide your bottom to the back of your chair. You ideally want to have your elbows at 90 degrees and level with your desk or keyboard. You want to also have your feet planted on the floor, or as you can see down below, if you're smaller and your feet can't touch the floor, you can see Judy has to use a little bolster there to put her feet up. So even using some papers, stacks of papers or books it works well, or ideally is a footstool. And then here's a great tip for everyone. Using a lumbar roll, like Judy's showing you here, or even if you don't have that, a rolled up towel, you can even tape it together, can improve your back support. And then if you guys are thinking, oh, I have a terrible chair, well, this is why you do this. If you have a poor chair, I'm not going to make you go out and buy a new desk chair. They can be expensive. So you can see that already looks better. So tip number 1, that's what you want to do first, is adjust your chair. So staring at your screen for long periods can cause headaches and fogginess. And then those of you, the one person that was having some neck pain, this will help, okay? So tip number 2, adjust your monitor. So again, we'll look at Judy here. You want to have it at arm's length away from your eyes. The top of the computer screen should be at eye level, which will help with proper neck alignment. So this is the problem with laptops, okay? Yes, they're portable and convenient, but they're not ideal for your neck. I'm sure all of you have experienced some of this. I call it tech neck, or where your neck's getting sucked into your screen, okay? So you can see what Judy did there. She propped up a laptop on onto a laptop table. And again, you guys don't necessarily need to go and buy something like this. You can just use some books or some stacks of paper, whatever you have at home, okay? Okay, that looks better. Judy's neck isn't aligned. So here's a great tip. You need good lighting so your eyes don't strain and you don't have to lean into your laptop. So you can see Judy has her lamp set up there. Joanne, I saw you turn your lamp on. Good job. So if you guys have noticed you've had any change in vision lately, you might actually even benefit from having your eyes or going for a visual checkup. That can help as well. Working on a keyboard with your arms and hands outstretched can lead to rounded shoulders and a slumped posture. Chest muscles can become tight, and the muscles between the shoulder blades might be underused. So here's tip number 3. Let's adjust your keyboard. So with your keyboard, you want to keep it close to your body. You want to move from your elbow, not your shoulder, to prevent your shoulder strains when you're doing all your typing or mousing or writing at your desk. And then ideally, for those of us that use a laptop, an external keyboard and mouse is very helpful. That way we don't have to get into that slumped posture where we're falling into our screen. And a great tip here for you, don't reach for your tools. Keep everything in arm's length. That way you're not having to constantly strain yourself to get outside of your base of support. Tip number 4, this goes with your tools. Position your phone. So you want to have your phone on your non-writing side. So you don't cradle it like Judy's doing there. That's what I was doing, why my neck was feeling terrible. So you don't cradle it with your shoulder. This can lead to neck and shoulder pain. So a great tip, if you're one of those people that have to be on the phone a lot during the day, use a headset or earbuds. You know, and that way your hands are free to write and type, and then you don't have to crink your neck all day. So you want to keep changing your position. Sit for some of the time and stand for some of the time. You want to schedule time for moving. So ideally, you want to change your position. You want to move and stretch at least every 30 to 40 minutes. So yes, a standing desk, many of you are probably going to ask me about that later, which we can talk about it. But a standing desk can help mitigate some of the muscular tension and fatigue. You want to set, so tip number 1, set a timer on your phone or computer. Put it on vibrate, put it in your pocket every time it vibrates. Adjust your posture or do some movement. And then tip number 2, you can try using an ironing board or a kitchen island as a standing desk. So if you guys were thinking about purchasing a standing desk, implement this first and see if that's very helpful. Then we know maybe that's a good idea for you. So it's more important to use different positions and increase your variety, okay? So let's chat. Is there anything faulty about your home workstation that you learned during the workshop? What do you need to adjust? Let's type in the chat. I want to know, what did you guys have that you need to adjust? Joanne, keyboard. Laptop height. Only have my work laptop at home. Laptop setup. Chair height. Yeah, Dina, the chair height is kind of that precursor to everything, right? If you can adjust the chair height, everything will follow suit. Use mouse, not trackpad. Chair height. Yeah, Eric, chair height is very important. Okay. So for your postural awareness, Laurel, chair has to go so high that my feet don't touch the ground and puts pressure on my legs. Yes, I see this all the time, Laurel. There's people who have sciatic issues where that sciatic nerve can get pressed. It's getting compressed where you're putting pressure on your legs all the time you're sitting. So that's right. If you can ideally have your legs even level or even a little higher than your chair, 90 degrees or even a little higher, you're not going to have that same pressure that goes down your legs. So that will help a lot. Dina, problem is desk height is tall, so chair is already at max height. Ah, right. That makes things tricky. Yeah, that would be tricky for sure. Yeah. Same problem. Sit on something. Yeah, Joanne, that might be a good idea. Sit on, you could try boosting up with like a bolster or a little couch cushion perhaps. I don't know, but yeah, with the chair, I would say the chair, if anything, is one of the most important things to have, because like I said, everything will kind of come from that. So yeah, maybe we could have a look, Laurel, if you want. We could kind of brainstorm and see what we can come up with. Okay, so postural awareness. So let's compare the left to the right. So on the left, you can see the head. I call it tech neck. You're getting sucked into the vortex of the computer screen. Your head gets forward and it gets rounded shoulders and your back becomes flat. So not an ideal posture. So you can see, you can see this green line going up and down through the spine here. That's your balanced upright posture. We call it a plumb line. So with this, you want to make sure, think about this line going through you guys right now. Make sure your bottom is at the back of the chair. Sit with your feet flat on the ground, and you want to adjust your hips to be horizontal to the floor or slightly higher, like we were just talking about with that sciatic stuff, right? So your ears should be right over top of your shoulders, and your shoulders should be right over top of your hips. You want to sit up tall without getting too rigid. So my cue for you guys, you'll remember this. Think about a string attached to the top of your head, and it's pulling you up. You're like a marionette. You're all like the puppets, okay? Pulling you up tall. So I want to discuss this diagram a little bit with you guys. So does this look like you working from home? Joanne, that face, oof. You know, so you can see, we'll start up top here. So your head, you know, it's coming forward and putting a lot of stress, a lot of strain onto your neck. This also leads to, like what we just said, where your shoulders get internally rotated and then the back becomes elongated and the back muscles become weak and they're being underutilized. So those of you that that had neck issues previous, that's probably why you're having some of those neck issues, right? And then if we look down lower, for all of us that were having those back issues, we're getting reduced hip flexion, we're getting shortened hamstrings because we're sitting all the time. Everything's getting tight and short. And then our glutes, these are one of the biggest muscles in our body, super important. They're getting elongated and inactive. They're not working for you guys. Let's make them work, okay? So that's why you're getting some back pain, right? So, you know, don't worry or get obsessed with the perfect posture. You want to train yourself and ask yourself, what posture, what position are you in most? And it's those, you know, it's okay to go in and out of those positions sometimes. You know, we can handle it for a little bit, but if you're there for extended periods of time, more than 15 minutes, we're all going to slump forward. So we have to just readjust. So what could you do to bring yourself into a different opposing position, right? So extending, and we'll show you some movement techniques to help with this, okay? So one of my quotes I like to say is, your best posture or position is your next one. So that, what I mean by that is always moving, keep moving in and out of different postures while you're sitting for long periods, okay? So, you know, work setup and posture awareness, yes, they're effective and they're important, but they're only part of the equation. When you're working from home, it's easy to overwork. So it's important to set time for work and set time for exercise. So you don't want to be overworking constantly. You know, there's always stuff that we can do, but it's important. I was talking to one of my patients today, and she was mentioning how, you know, it was hard to gear out of work and you're always stressed with all the work. She, you know, we were talking about a plan where she could go for a walk in the morning and a walk at lunch and after her work day, because she missed her commute to work. She missed that 10 minutes to gear up and have that relaxation period before work. So we talked about doing a bit of walking just to kind of implement that into her routine. So sitting is the new smoking. So we are literally sitting ourselves to death. You heard me, sitting. So we looked at a study. It was a 2010 Australian study. So they found that for each extra hour participants spent sitting daily, they looked at a 7-year period. Their overall risk of mortality or dying actually increased by 11%. That's huge, right? The 2012 study also found that if the average American reduced their sitting time to 3 hours per day, their life expectancy would climb by 2 years. So we got to move. We're built to move. So, wow, yeah, East Hill Physio, wow. So exercise, you know, it's important. It's not, you know, it's hard to get away from your desk. It's important that it adds up, right? We don't have to necessarily go for an hour walk, hour run, hour bike. It can be 5-10 minutes, right? Little break. It adds up. It accumulates. So schedule time for some regular exercise, okay? So let's get moving. Who wants to move? Who's ready? So here's how you're going to integrate movement into your day. Me, Laurel, yes. So before you guys, you know, consult, you know, before you get into an extensive physio program or exercise program, it's always important just to, you know, talk to your doctor or your registered physiotherapist. You know, you want to get an accurate diagnosis and an individualized treatment plan before you commence any new program. That way, you know, you're on track. So here's some great tips you guys can try. Pair an exercise with something that's already part of your usual routine. So I tell people with exercise, it's like brushing your teeth. You got to add that into your schedule, right? So here's a couple of examples. Do 10 squats every time you go fill up your water, right? We all have to drink. Do 10 squats. Do 10 wall push-ups every time you go to the bathroom, okay? And then you want to do it until it becomes a habit. Then add another, add another. Does anybody have any good ideas? Type in the chat. What do you guys do already? Type in the chat. Okay. Yeah. So another good idea is I sometimes garden for a few minutes. I love it. Eric, I love that. Go for a walk around the block. Yes. Good ideas. So so stand up or walk during phone calls is another good one. Put exercise breaks into your schedule. This is important. Walk the dog on my conference call. I like that, Nancy. That's great. And then other people have taken walks on your lunch break. So as you implement these movements, notice how you feel. How does it feel compared to how you normally sit at your desk? So it's being very aware of your posture, right? That's kind of what I'm trying to get at with those. So here's a couple of movements we're going to do. I'm going to ask Judy to help me again, if she doesn't mind. So there's some, for some neck and back things that we were talking about. And these are all ones that you can do at your desk. I know it's not ideal. We have to do work, yes. And we not all can't get up and move around as much as we want. So these are going to help you guys. So the first one is cervical retraction. So you're going to sit up tall with that string pulling you up, and you're going to try to tuck your chin in. So I tell people, think about somebody throwing a pie into your face. What would you do? Yeah, exactly. Selena, I saw that. That's perfect. Yes, that's good. Okay. And then the next one, upper trap stretch. So ideally for this one, you can side bend your ear to your shoulder and feel that tight stretch. You want to sit up tall, bring your shoulders back into your pockets, okay? If you don't get a stretch with this, you can even sit on your palm, palm up that will pin your shoulder down. You'll get more of a stretch. I see everybody trying that. That's awesome. The next one we can try, remember how we said those back muscles were getting inactive and weak and they weren't working for you? So this next one's to fire those up, get them holding you out of that forward head posture. So you want to put on your hips or just by your side, and you want to pull your shoulder blades back and try to squeeze them together. Try to touch your shoulder blades together and pull them down into your back pockets. Awesome, guys. That looks great. Okay, so those are very helpful for the neck and upper back kind of posture issues. The next one you can try is using your chair or your desk. You can get some rotation to loosen up your low back. So basically all you want to do is grab the side of your chair and turn with your head and your eyes, and your body will follow to one side. And you can turn and rotate to one side and then go to the other. Nice, very good. And then I think there was one person that mentioned they were having wrist issues. So to prevent, I love doing that exercise in the middle of the day. Eric, yeah. And that's the thing. Usually for most of us, I'm sure it's, we can handle some of it during the morning or when we're doing our work. But then over time, it's just going to get more aggravated. So trying to break it up and prevent that is great. I like that, Eric. Good job. So the next one is doing some wrist extension and flexion. We're typing all day on our laptops or computers, right? So we want to point our fingers to the floor. Will help stretch out some of the wrist extensors. And then the opposite, you point the hands to the ceiling, say, stop. Stop that pain. That will help stretch out from your laptop. My pinky fingers both sometimes get locked and shoot pain. Selena. Okay. Oh, yes, I see that. Yes. Joanne. Okay, yeah. Selena. Yeah. So for the pinky fingers, you can adjust it a little bit too. Go out to the side. Judy's going to show you. And come down that way. You're probably having what we call dural tension in there. That will help get some of that tightness as well. And then up towards your ear. How does that feel, Selena? Any change with that? Yeah, feels better? So try that one. You guys can all try that too. It's important to kind of work in and out of different directions. Good. And then the last one we can show you guys, we're just giving you a little sampler of a few here. Is a piriformis, a gluteal stretch. So what you can do is sit with your feet on the floor, and then you want to try and cross your foot over your knee, and then try to push your other knee into the floor. You'll feel it in your bum. It's really important to sit up tall and lean over your hip with this one to really feel a nice stretch in there. Awesome. Ooh, that's a good one. You like that one, Selena? Good, nice. Okay, so those are just a few tricks that you guys can try. Do you have any questions regarding that? Feel free to put it in the chat. Thanks, Judy. So let's talk. What is your biggest takeaway from the workshop today? What did you guys learn? Move more, Eric, yes. Get up. Don't get stuck in your chair. Yes. Joanne, move around. Don't just sit. Need to bring home my work setup. Yeah, you should go steal it, Selena. That's a good call. Don't tell them you're going, though. Debbie, new stretches. Yeah, you bet, you bet. Dina, confirm the chair is the biggest problem. Good, yes, good. I think so. I think if I'm not one to prescribe equipment, but if that was one thing you guys could change, that would be the biggest one probably, and everything else can kind of come to follow suit. Inactivity is shortening my life, Lorna. Yes. We want to live our best life. We want to have those, best years at the end of our life. So let's get up and move. Yeah. Okay. So here are some take-home points. I need a copy of these slides. Selena, yeah, we're gonna post them. We'll post a video too. We can, you guys will all get a link. You can follow and watch the video over again. We'll get it to you for sure. So here's some take-home points that you can apply. So to your workstation and your daily routine. So notice the difference from what you were doing previous to what you're gonna do now. I want you guys to be aware of this, and you're gonna report back to me if you want to. Notice how you feel. So 3 keys from working from home. So number 1, you want to have that proper workstation setup. Number 2, postural awareness. Number 3, moving throughout your day. So have fun with it, okay? Get creative. Use objects that you find around your house to make your workspace work for you. It's not the same for everyone. We all have different needs. We all have different alignment or ailments, right? Be aware of your posture. Notice how, if, or when it changes. Feelings of pain or discomfort, and what eases or what strengthens it. And then integrate movement. Find ways that work for you. That way, you'll be more likely to do it. So we've provided you guys with a little sampling of some of the effective and creative ways to enhance your work from home ergonomics. So if you want, please type postural scan in the chat box if you need further help, or if you need, if you're wanting to, our 𝗟𝗚𝗀 physiotherapists are offering free 15-minute workstation assessments. They can help you guide you to set up your workstation with the resources you currently have. And then if you're already having issues, you may need a professionalized program. So go ahead and book a full assessment with us, all right? So watch your email box. Look out on Friday for the links to the video recording of today's workshop. And we're gonna send you guys an exercise PDF. It's gonna have those exercises we went over and more, okay? Also, we're gonna send out a quick survey. So please feel free to make sure you feel free and go through that survey. That way we can improve our workshops and we can get some more ideas about what topics you guys want to see, okay? So let's open it up for some questions. If you guys want to go on mic and ask me a question about anything, feel free. Type me in the chat and we can put you guys on mic. I'm sure somebody has a burning questions. You don't want me to start picking and choosing. Me, Selena. Okay, Selena, go ahead. Go on mic.
How far away? So the reason why I haven't actually done that and stolen my equipment from my office, because everybody else has. We actually are able to do that. My work desk that I have at home, my makeshift office, it's a very small depth of desk.
Yeah.
And there's like a upright, I'll turn my computer. So you can kind of see.
Yeah, you can show it if you want to.
It's like one of those.
Okay, yeah.
So that's my work laptop there. And I've got my document stand here from work, and I've got my wireless mouse is kind of squished over in the corner. But when I have my work laptop set up, it's just pulled forward. Of course, I'm slouched over it because there's no external keyboard or anything like that. So if I tried, I haven't actually tried, to bring home my work external monitor. I have two at the office, but I could try to get one on here, and then there's a dock and an external keyboard, and then I have the mouse here. How far away is the monitor supposed to be before this is kind of like I'm too close? Because I don't have a keyboard tray.
So yeah, so you want to have your screen about arm's length away from you. That would be ideal. I mean, you can move it around as you need to for space, obviously, but that's kind of your ideal setup. That way, you know, you're preventing yourself from falling forward. Your eyes aren't going to strain as much. Your neck's not going to bring you forward. So yeah, an arm's length away. Okay. Okay. Yeah. And then the keyboard was kind of like when you're at 90 degrees. Then? So adjust your chair first. Get in your good setup, and then wherever your arms end up, that's where you want your keyboard. Okay. 90 degrees. Yes. Is that helpful? Yeah, I think so. I might try, I think, to bring my stuff home, because I mean, it's been now over a year that I've been working from home, and Tiffany has been trying to work some miracles, but it's like an ongoing battle. You're going uphill. You got to get rid of the thing that's causing the problem, and it sounds like that's the postural stuff, right? That's straining you, right? So I think that would be hugely helpful for you. Okay, I'll try and see if I can switch it on my desk, and if not, then unfortunately I'll have to all go back to the office. Yeah, it's worth it. It's worth a try, Selena. Give it a go. Okay, thanks. Okay, you're welcome. Who else has questions? Anybody else relate to Selena? Okay. Well, if there's no more questions, I just want to say thank you, everybody, so much for coming. I'm going to follow up with anybody that had a question in the chat, and if anybody else has any other questions and they don't want to go on mic, that's totally fine. Just send us a quick email. So thanks again. Yeah, thanks for coming. And we'll hope to see you guys at our next virtual workshop, which will be in June. So, you're welcome. Very welcome, guys. I love doing it for you. And let me know your next topic. Send me some emails, okay? Okay, nice to see you, everyone. Bye.